Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting for April 30th to order. Would you all rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you bow your head for a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage, that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 23rd Commissioners' meeting.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. And with that, are there any public comments regarding any pending resolutions today? Seeing none, we will move on. We have a retirement commendation. But I appreciate your being eager to these. This is a resolution of commendation. It has come to the attention of the Board of County Commissioners that Rose Seeholzer has decided to retire from the Medina County Sanitary Engineering Department on April 30th, 2024. And whereas Rose was hired on April 28th, 2003 as an account receivable clerk and was promoted to data processor supervisor on December 20th, 2015. And whereas Rose was also promoted to the accounts receivable supervisor position on December 16th, 2018. And whereas Rose was both a loyal and devoted clerk and supervisor during her employment at the Sanitary Engineers Department. She gave her time and dedication to both the profession and her coworkers, and always had an abundance of encouragement and positivity for her team. She was very passionate about her work and loved the aspect of customer service and assisting the residents of Medina County. And whereas Rose's many years of service to county residents is greatly appreciated, whereas the Board of County Commissioners wishes to recognize and honor Rose for her commitment and diligent work during her career in the Accounts Receivable Department for the Sanitary Engineer. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Medina County, Ohio, that Rose Seeholzer be and is hereby commended for her 21 years of service with the Medina County Sanitary Engineering Department. Be it further resolved that the Board wishes to take this opportunity to offer best wishes to Rose for her retirement.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second that. Any discussion?
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Would you like to come up so we can present it to you?
You get the mic here.
So I'll present, we'll pose for a picture, and then we'll... You can come up here too if you want to snap a picture from up closer. I'm good. Okay.
Would you like to say something?
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone here. I'd like to thank the County of Medina. This day has come much too soon for me. I started here in 2003, and the days just it came much too quick. I have to say that I enjoyed my time here with the county. So I want to thank you for this honor. I want to thank you very, very much for this honor. And I wish the very, very best for all the fine people in Medina County. I wish prosperity for the future of Medina. And I do want to say that I had a whole speech for the county, and I can't remember a thing. I just can't remember a thing. I wanted it to just come, but I just wish everyone here the very, very best. And to say that I really, truly enjoyed my time, my work with the county, and the people in Medina that I worked with were the finest. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, thank you, yes.
With that, we will move on to resolutions. Denise Testa, I believe, is kicking us off today.
That's a tough act to follow. Congratulations. So I have one resolution to present to you awarding the Village of Lodi Richmond Field Walkway Improvement Project funded by the CDBG grant. So this is, Lodi did receive a successful bid for the splash pad. So this is kind of what I would define as phase 2, and I appreciate your consideration.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, any discussion? Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Holly Murray?
Good morning.
Morning.
On our personal changes resolution today, we have 1 new hire in maintenance, 9 rate increases, 3 in maintenance, 2 in sanitary, 3 at office for older adults, 1 at county home, and 1 promotion in sanitary.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, any discussion? Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. Brett Thomas.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I have 6 resolutions for your consideration today. The first one is cash transfer. This was actually listed last week, but we needed to add the amounts in for it for $8,700 for transfer for sanitary from 2020. Our second resolution is a cash transfer for the Social Services Levy Fund. Our third resolution is the acceptance of an OCJS Patrol Vehicle Technology Grant. This has a cash match for it. The total value of the grant is $10,335, of which $7,751 is grant money, and the remainder is our cash match. Our fourth resolution is authorizing an agreement with the County Law Library Resource Boards for our law library resource board for equipment in the amount of $1,972.59. Our fifth resolution is expenses for our county officials. Nothing out of state this week. And our sixth and final resolution is our weekly bills in the amount of $7,007,279.67. That's a larger amount than normal because we have both our school district sales tax coming through, as well as a bill for Fetchco excavating on that wonderful Fen Road project.
I'll make a motion to approve the 6 resolutions.
Second. Discussion. Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Brett. Next up, Chris Jacob, who's moving about the room. I was looking in the wrong spot.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
4 resolutions for you this morning. The first is authorizing a change order for the Medina County Veteran Services Building Addition and Renovation Project. There was some additional site work that was required based on the existing soil conditions that were there at the site, and there was a need to actually replace existing furnaces, which had prior to this been anticipated to be just retrofitted and reutilized, but it was deemed a more cost-effective approach to just replace them. Total change order amount $32,969.24, and there are excuse me, balance of funds remaining. Again, thank you to Mr. Wadsworth, Clerk of Courts. Next resolution authorizes the purchase of a vehicle for the Medina County office. This is a pool vehicle that will be utilized by users of this building and elsewhere. This was the vehicle that had previously been utilized by the county coroner. It's a Jeep Renegade 2017. We were able to purchase this off of the Enterprise Fleet program for $396. Next resolution authorizes an appreciation luncheon for the volunteers at the Medina County Home. This is for 2024 in an amount not to exceed $200. And fourth and final resolution this morning, authorizing the county administrator to enter into an agreement with Perspectus Architects for design services related to the Medina County Domestic Relations Courthouse acoustical and security improvements. The amount of this proposal and agreement is $13,500.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 resolutions.
Second. Any discussion? I will just mention that I was at the Veterans Ball on Friday, and the project did come up, and there was a lot of really positive feedback and a lot of appreciation for how that's progressing. So I tried to steer the conversation away from the temporary location, but for the vision for the future, everybody's on board with, which is great.
And is it,
I think they've adapted nicely.
They actually,
so-
they're doing very well down there.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
in addition, it's always nice to get a car for under $400.
Yes, so that
That's-
lease program does occasionally work out
Yeah.
for us, so,
Yeah, doesn't happen often.
well, overall, it's been a good program.
Right,
So
right.
we've had some recent struggles, but we're getting through 'em.
Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And then next, we do have one commissioner's resolution. This is a resolution appointing commissioners alternate for Medina County Planning Commission for 2024. Whereas the Medina County Commissioners are members of the Medina County Planning Commission and have appointed alternates to attend meetings in their absence. And whereas due to unforeseen circumstances, a new appointment needs to be made for representative for Colleen Sweattick. Whereas Cynthia Engelman has expressed a desire to serve as Colleen Sweattick's representative on the Medina County Planning Commission, Colleen Sweattick would like her to serve as her representative. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners, that Cynthia Engelman is hereby appointed to the Medina County Planning Commission as Colleen Sweattick's representative, with her term expiring at the end of 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, any discussion?
Yes, Cindy's here. If you would like to come up and introduce yourself, we're so glad to have you on the team, and we are so fortunate to have someone so qualified take the position.
Well, I thank you for appointing me and expressing your confidence in me being able to replace Clifford. I've had the fortunate pleasure of being at meetings where he's at, and he was very introspective and thorough, and so I certainly hope I can follow in his footsteps.
We have 100% confidence in you. Thank you for serving.
Thank you.
Additional discussion? Roll call?
Sweattick?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Is this for discussion session, this letter? For discussion session?
Yeah.
Okay. With that, we'll move on to public comment. Is there any public comment? Yes, sir. Please come on up and then give us your name and address, if you wouldn't mind, for the record.
I have 2 things to discuss. My name is Ed Stevens. I have a cottage at Chippewa Lake, 42 Bungalow Bay. And my first topic is water. And it was 2013 when you all had a resolution of changing the way the water is charged. And over that period of time, and that was done because you had some EPA monies due. And so it's now been going on 11 years. And I'm wondering if it's time to reassess this. We sit at the cottage and we are charged for 2,000 gallons of water. This is all optics. 2,000 gallons of water, and we use 68 gallons while we're there. I mean, we're not there full time. So the idea is, could there be some consideration to the charges to the 45 units that are, now being charged? And my daughter and I, we've had our cottage since '67. We've owned it ourselves since 2011. And we just think when you compare what we have in our Westlake home at $20 and we're getting $50 charges roughly, here it seems onerous for 68 gallons of water a month. I just want to say that, what is fair, and is that fair, and should we be reassessing the charge, the way water is charged, okay?
Thank
So-
you for sharing.
So that's number one.
Mhm.
Number two, I've been working on the Save the Lake Coalition for Chippewa Lake, and I think we're doing pretty well. And I'm all in support of us having a very wonderful lake that's, has served our community, my families and everything for so long. And now we're kind of opening it up to Medina County. And that's, in theory, I think that's a good thing. And we don't want to get in the way of that. But we have some concerns about security. And when I met with the Park District, and I brought up the fact that there's more and more people coming in, there's more and more, with numbers, you have more and more chances for, accidents, speeders, other things. And we noticed at our playgrounds and other such things, people who aren't from our area are now coming in, and we have some concerns. So at that meeting, Nate Epping says, well, take your issues to the police. Well, I think what I'm here is to wave a flag and say, I think you should be aware that there are going to be security issues or police-type issues that are going to be coming because it just happens. And, I'm on the board of the Cleveland Police Foundation and that kind of thing. And I'm concerned about security, and I'm concerned about safety and of our kids and other such things. And I just, I want to be sure that you are aware that our community feels a little bit fearful of what lies around the corner, and that we should think in a positive way about whatever support we can get that's beyond the current allocations that you provide. But I appreciate this opportunity, and thank you for all you do. And I'm on the board of Medina Creative Housing, and I see some of you guys at some of our events, and I really appreciate your support of that as well.
Thank you for being here and sharing. And I just will offer too, on the second point about the wake restrictions and things like that, that we've mentioned it in prior meetings. The actual regulations are a product of the park board commissioners. But one of the things I've heard in the course of those discussions is that the intention or the plan is that with those restrictions going into place, there will be more patrols on the lake. And so I think that's one of the things from my kind of a little bit removed view of it, it's probably in everybody's interest that with more traffic and that being a public use, that we all benefit from that. So, and then I don't know if there's anything to add, and our sanitary engineer isn't here on the water issue, but.
Yeah, there's a minimum use charge on the water, and I'd be happy to initiate a discussion with our sanitary engineer to
That'd be great.
bring something back to you to take a look at it, so.
And she was a wonderful person,
Yeah, Rose.
and the service you guys provide is stellar.
Thank you, I'll pass that on, appreciate it.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? No? Moving on to discussion session. I know Treasurer Burke is here. He has something for discussion session. Morning.
Morning. John Burke, Medina County Treasurer. I just want to announce that May 1st, tomorrow, we're going to start our Fix-It Fund program again for the year. Fix-It Funds is a low-interest home improvement loan program, fixed rate. We do it in partnership with Westfield Bank. And so these loans are at 2%, up to 2% below the bank's normal rates. And it's for loans of $5,000 to $50,000. You can use it for almost any type of improvement to your house. So that includes like wallpapering, lighting, painting, flooring, plumbing, replacement of your doors and windows. It can be an addition, it can be decks, it can be a garage. Almost any type of improvement. There are some exceptions, and that is no swimming pools and anything that's portable like hot tubs or satellite dishes. You can't do that. But there's no income limit on these loans, but there is a limit on the value of the house. So the house can be valued at $300,000 or less. Not the land, just the house. So that includes almost 80% or 90% of our homes.
Yeah.
You can't be delinquent on your taxes either and get a loan. So we've had, actually right now we have $1.1 million in active loans on the Fix It Fund program. The average loan that we have is about $17,000. Since 2002, when we started the program, we've done about $15.7 million in loans to over 1,000 people. And the rates this last year, as everybody knows, the last 2 years really went up. So you're looking at mortgage rates of 7 to 8%, equity lines of 9%. So Fix-It funds, even though the rates are high, does give an added advantage of being up to 2% below those rates. And it is a fixed income rate too, not a market or variable rate. If you are interested in these loans, you can get a hold of Westfield Bank at their 2 branches. They have the one on 18 Medina Line Road. They also have one in Westfield Center. The number you can call is 330-764-6091. And you can also call my office, and that would be 330-725-9746. Any questions?
I think it's great. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
thank you.
Thank you, John.
Other items for discussion? Colleen, do you have anything?
I do not.
Chris, do you have anything? Shuffling papers. I thought maybe you had something.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have, or we do have in front of us a letter of support for the Sanford Bridge replacement. And this was, is this at the request of the county engineer?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just offering our letter of support to replace an existing all-wood bridge that's near the end of its service life. And I'm not sure, who is this request directed to? It's fairly broad, so I guess this is just something for them.
I can't recall. I have
Okay.
the email request
Okay.
I can send you.
But,
But the grant application is due at noon today, so
Right.
this was kind of a last minute.
Do you want a
request.
resolution for this letter or just verbal
No,
approval?
just a verbal approval.
I'm
that-
fine with it.
yeah, I'm fine with it too. I think
It gets right to the point.
That's right. It does everything it should really need to do. So, I'll be happy to sign on to that.
Yes, me too.
Okay, great, thank you.
Also wanted to mention, it came up before the meeting started, but we have a new piece of stained glass on the window here, and that was a gift from Stuart Neal. I believe there'll be something in the upcoming newsletter about it, but he presented that to us. He's a member of the Fair Board and a great community member, and it's just a really nice compliment
beautiful.
to the space.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and I can only imagine what it'll look like when there's actually some sun shining through it.
Yes.
So, there it is. Great shot. Look at that. All right. And then lastly, there was some news over the weekend about a traffic study being completed by NOACA and ODOT. This is related to the Boston Road interchange, or more specifically and more encouragingly, kind of as an alternative to the Boston Road interchange. So obviously, this is something we've been following closely with the commissioners, and also through our involvement with NOACA and our support of the city of Brunswick. They shared a press release that the city of Brunswick shared a press release that they offered support, expressing support for that traffic study. I would like to work with Brian, if it's okay with you,
Yes.
to do something similar. I think there's a couple things that are important to note. The first and foremost, in my discussions with both the city of Brunswick and then also Grace Galucci with NOACA, there's some belief that this development could spur the rescission of the legislation that created the requirement that the interchange be created. That's kind of hung up in committee right now. It's House Bill 276, Senate Bill 155, and the thought is it may be moved out of committee once this study was committed to. And so if that kind of becomes the compromise position to saying we're going to put an interchange there, we're going to study that. So I'm all in favor of anything that that supports the rescission of that legislation.
And we've been consistent in our support of our neighbors to the north on this issue. We've stood by them
Yep.
right from the beginning, so.
Yep. So I think that's a no-brainer. The other thing, I did do a little bit of lobbying in my call with Grace, because the last time there was a traffic study done of the northern routes up in the Strongsville-Brunswick corridor, there was also a study done of the southern routes, Route 18 in Montville Township, and if there was any support for, or any need for, some improvements there. So, I don't want to complicate things, but also while it's being studied, I fear that once they study that, it may be years before they look down in this direction again on something. So I did suggest that maybe we'd see if something like that could be added into it, like it was the last time around, which was, I think, 2017. I'm not sure if anybody has that date in front of them. The last study that I at least looked at was 2017. There may have been a subsequent ODOT study, but in a conversation with Andy Conrad, neither of us were familiar with anything other than the one from 2017 that NOACA did. So I don't know if anything will come of that, but I think it's, before we have another, 10 years down the road and the problems, not problems, but maybe there's a development of a problem that resembles what we're seeing in Strongsville and Brunswick, further south in our county, now would be the time maybe, well, Stan would say 30 years ago was the time to deal with that, but it's not going to get any better over the next decade. So if there's an opportunity to look at that, I think that'd be a great opportunity as well. So, but I'll work with Brian on getting something out on that. So, anything else? Any other?
I have one thing.
Yes, Rhonda.
As you know, we completed the courthouse auction on Saturday.
Great job, you guys.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody, Chris, Matt, Brian, Melinda, Lisa, Colleen, everybody that helped out with the auction, Farnsworth Auctions. It was
You
good
worked-
to have it behind us.
You
It was a
worked
lot
very
of
hard.
work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work, but I couldn't have done it without everybody's help. So thank you,
And
everybody.
they did a great job moving from room to room, and they just
Yeah.
started kind of eating the elephant. And they did a great job
Yeah.
with it, I thought.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see once your delivery pickup dates are over,
Right.
how much we really, it's hard to see how much we have left until the
Yeah.
dates are over.
Correct.
And that's by the end of this week, right? Is
Right.
the
Yeah.
deadline for scheduling
Yes.
a removal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's great. And you're right. It was a team effort, and a lot of
Absolutely.
extra hours and time went into that, and it's all very much appreciated. So,
Yes.
Anything else? Oh, then I'll entertain a motion.
You did a great job your first
Oh,
time.
thank you.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss pending litigation.
Second. Roll call.
Sweattick,
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes. Thank you very much. Say we'll adjourn after executive session. We won't be coming back into public session. I didn't say that.
Right.